Welcome everyone to the Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 meeting of the Frankfurt Electric Water Plant Board. I would first ask the Secretary to call the roll.
Member DeLong? Member Cuban?
Here.
Member Mason?
Here.
Member Snyder?
Here.
Member Denton Mitchell?
Here.
Jason has got a family deal going on tonight, and he found out too late in order to do a Zoom meeting, so we miss him, and we will see him next time around. First item is approval of the minutes from the, they're in your packet, from the 1/20/26 meeting. Does anyone have any additions, corrections, or deletions?
I move we approve best minutes ever.
I'll second it.
And we have a motion
For the
second on the
second best- for the best
amendments.
meeting.
Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Next item up is action item accepting the financials for the month ending January 31st, January 2026. Mr. Denton.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, good evening. You will find the financials for this month in your board packet on pages 13 through 93. So what we've provided is financials through January 31st, 2026. Our fiscal year starts June, July of each year. So we are 7 months through the 26 fiscal year. Starting on page 13, I'd like to start with the statement of net position, similar to a balance sheet. Look at line 75, total assets, $247 million. You'll notice that's up 2.1% from a year ago, just under 1% increase. Most of that drive primarily is from the increase in property, plant, and equipment. That's up $2.2 million year over year. So we've talked about this a lot over the last couple of years of how much investment we're putting back into property, plant, and equipment, and that's definitely driving an increase in assets. Looking at total liabilities, line 155, $93.4 million. This is, when you're down, $8.9 million year over year is a good sign. That is primarily driven by the decrease in Kentucky Public Pension Authority's liability. And then when you take total assets minus liabilities, you'll have your net position of just $153 million. You'll notice when you have an increase in assets and a decrease in liabilities, our net position increased $11 million or 7.7% year over year. So firm financial position. I'd like to talk for a minute about the financial performance of the plant board. This is on page 18 of your board packet. So we're looking at the statement of revenues, expenses, and change in that position. When you look at budget to actual, you'll notice that we're down from what we thought in revenue, but we have surpassed that amount by the amount we're down in expenses. So the net effect is that we're within budget parameters. So I'd like to talk just about year over year numbers, kind of discuss trends in revenue and expenses over time. If you look at our total revenue, that's line 20, and also including our other revenue, line 320. You'll notice that we're down $260,000 from a year ago. So when you're looking at the volume we're talking about, that's about 1/3 of 1% to $66 million. When you zoom in and drill into that a little bit, the primary revenue is operating revenue. When you look year over year, we're up about $500,000. So that is about 0.8%. So you're essentially flat, but that's being driven by increase in usage in electric and water. Flipping over to expenses, operating, and also your general and admin expenses. Year over year, we're up $1.9 million or 3.3% to a total of $60 million. Most of that, there's 5 or 6 items that kind of raise up, but your primary leader in those increases is your health insurance cost right now. That's primarily increase in claims. So when you have your total revenue, $66 million, less your expenses, you'll notice there on line 325, change in net position of $6 million. We're going to have the budget period coming up here soon, and something we talk about a lot, and I think it's important for our customer owners and leaders in the community to understand, is we talk about revenue requirements. What does it take to operate and maintain the utility? So that comes to 4 different pieces of that. It's kind of, you can put it into an equation. It's rates equals revenue requirements. And the revenue requirement 4 pieces are, you got to cover your operating expenses to keep your day-to-day operations going. You need to invest back in your property, plant, and equipment to make sure you can provide the safe, reliable services. When you go out and take out large capital projects, you usually have to issue debt for those unless you have the cash available. And then the fourth piece is cash on hand. So we just went through the financial performance and shown a change in net position of $6 million. And it's easy to stop there and go, well, the plant board made $6 million, but you've really only covered one of the four pieces of revenue requirements. One of the big things I covered over in the balance sheet was the investment in property, plant, and equipment. So when you look at those other three pieces, the plant board through 7 months, has plowed back 97% of the cash that we've generated. We have put either back into property, plant, and equipment or payment on debt, which was, I think, through this $375,000 through the first 7 months. So this is one of the benefits of a municipal utility. Every dollar is going right back in to make sure we maintain the plant. So that's a little summary of where we are through this period. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions?
And I do want to compliment, today was the State of the Community breakfast, and Gary and I and Steve, Catherine and Charmista and Travis were there, Kathy Lindsay and Kathy Jennings, and Dr. Akuppa from KSU, and this was public, so I mean, when he got up and testified, or when he made his presentation, he said that when he came to KSU, they were 3 audit years behind. They had not done 21, 22, and 23, so he had to catch up all those, and they're just now getting started on 25. And he was talking about just the hurdle of getting that done, and just compliment you and your team on what all have you done, because I mean he faced, and he's definitely addressed it, but he faced a huge hurdle that he inherited, and I just want to compliment you and your team for what they do. So
Absolutely, thank you very much.
I mean that makes a whole lot, and like I said, he's fought that the whole time, and he's done a good job, but it's been tough on him.
Yeah.
No other questions. I'll accept a motion to accept the financials.
Second.
Motion second, to accept the financials. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item up is public comment. Madam Secretary, do we have any public comments at all, aside from the 2 that you sent us earlier?
No, sir.
Been taken care of. Okay, thank you. Departmental reports. Is that Travis this time, or Travis?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. We'll start it off with Kathy, if you'll give the public information update.
Yeah, absolutely. Good evening. As Mr. Cubine mentioned, we did have the State of the Community this morning. I do want to thank all of you who were able to attend. This is one event that FPB hosts with the Chamber of Commerce. And it really does show the community that we're engaged with the community and part of the partnership of our city leadership. So it was a good morning. We had a lot of folks there. It was a good turnout. We have standing room only. So again, that's something that we are proud to do every year. I'm going to give an update. Harvey is not here tonight, so and he doesn't have anything on the agenda, which is amazing. But I do want to share some things that we're doing. We are continuing to work on conversion from our cable modems to our fiber internet. And part of the new services that we have a new service catalog. And one thing that a couple of things that we have launched, we do have the new ESPN Unlimited. If you are a cable subscriber who uses the ESPN app, there are more features on there for ESPN Plus and ESPN Unlimited content. So that's something for our cable subscribers. And if you're an internet subscriber and interested in some sort of broadband TV, or you want some kind of video component, you don't have to pay for cable. You can get what we are calling Nextband Now. And you'll see that on page 9. And it costs $20 a month if you are an internet customer. It gives you family and lifestyle channels. It doesn't have ESPN on it or sports. It's more like the Game Show Network, Hallmark Channel, HDNet Movies, A&E, Lifetime, History Channel. So stuff like that, you get it for $20 a month if you are an internet customer.
Does it give you channel 10?
Yes, absolutely, yeah. That's something that we're proud to offer for people who don't want the full package of cable, but they could pay $20 and get some good content as an internet customer. Another thing that has come up is that FanDuel no longer has the right to carry Cincinnati Reds. So we are still contracted with them through the end of April for, I believe it's the Cavaliers season, and also I think it's the Blue Jackets, which is the hockey team in Columbus. So we'll be carrying the rest of their seasons through April. We have had initial conversations with Major League Baseball about carrying the Reds games. And so I think we're going to be making a presentation about that in March, at the March meeting. As far as media services goes, they're doing some things in the studio. They're making some modifications in the studio so that we can do more productions down there with a different type of set. Also, we have district basketball starting next week. So in addition to all of the government meetings that they'll be covering at night, they'll also have 4 nights of basketball games. So it's getting ready to be a busy week next week for our Cable 10 crew. We'd just like to thank them for everything they do. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Great job this morning.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Darren with the knock and safety report.
Good evening. For the month of January, the knock, we entered 1,166 trouble calls, handled 2,108 phone calls. On the locate side of the house, we did 601 locates in January, so pretty busy for a winter month. That totals for the fiscal year 4,579 locates. And on the safety side, we had 3 workplace injuries in January. None were reportable, just, pretty much minor slips, trips, falls, that kind of thing. No big deal. No vehicle accidents and no damage investigations. And then just our normal safety meetings, trainings, and typical safety stuff. So that's all I have for January, unless you have any questions. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Darren. Next up, April with customer service.
Good evening. You can find the customer service reports on page 97 through 100. There on page 97 is that customer service overview for January. We assisted just short of 7,400 customers. About 4,700 of those were calls, about 1,400 walk-ins, and then about 1,300 cashier transactions. Excuse me. Our wait times did go up slightly, not really anything to be concerned with. We averaged on just our normal day with all 3 tiers, we were at just short of 2-minute average, and then when you take out those 4 peak days, our average is about 1 minute and 8 seconds. So nothing to be real concerned with. We are short 2 CSRs, so we may see that move just a little bit over the next few months as we try to hire someone. We usually hire 1 person at a time because it is a lot of training, and it's hard to have 2 experienced CSRs out. But other than that, the kiosks, we were just short of 600 kiosk transactions, and then we had 8 compliments, 8 positive Google reviews, and then we didn't have any negative. So pretty good month for Google reviews. But if y'all have any questions, be happy to.
Questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you all.
All right, next up, Adam with the telecom report.
Good afternoon. Telecom report starts on page 101 with the customer numbers. We continue to migrate people over to the fiber network. We had a little bit of a setback over Christmas and the snow. That's kind of got our schedules kind of messed up, but we're trying to get that cleaned up. Just too hard to do the installs. It kind of slowed us down a little bit on the construction side too, but we're moving forward now. Had 1 outage for the month. Trouble call was actually, that's the lowest I've seen it in many, many years. So, and still it's customer education, set-top boxes, some of the new streaming devices, just educating the customers there. On the county grants, everything's moving forward. We have 2 areas complete. We're taking customers on. We have 1 area that's 95% complete. We should be taking customers probably on that in the next week or 2. We did finish it. We had one part of Boynton Road that was part of the overbuild. It was actually tied to the grants as well. That's been activated, so we are 100% activated on the overbuild itself. So everything else is just moving forward. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay, thanks,
you.
Adam.
Alrighty, next up will be Scott with the electric report.
Good evening, everyone. The electric report will start on page 105 with your SAIDI numbers at 85.253. Page 106 will show your pie chart with the percentages, and below that you will see the causes and the actual count for each type of cause there was. There was 14 outages. Total customers affected was 100, and that's averaged about 7.14 customers per outage. Page 107 shows the top 10 outages for the month. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Kind of caught a break without any ice with the snow, didn't we?
They got lucky. So, ice stayed south of us, so I think Lexington, places like that, got about 1/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
They said that we had a 0.2 here in Franklin County, but I don't know where that was. I did not see any in Franklin County.
Sunday morning for about 30 minutes or so, we had it at our house down in South Frankfurt, and then that was it.
Yeah.
So, but we never got anything on the limbs or anything like that. So
No, we got lucky. So
very fortunate. Okay.
So
Thanks,
If it's
Scott.
appropriate, Mr. Chairman,
No, go ahead.
on behalf of the board, again, would y'all send 2 crews down to Tennessee?
we sent
Yeah.
a crew down to Tennessee, Lexington,
Yeah.
Tennessee. So they
I
were
saw the
down-
pictures in the weekly. I mean, that's incredible what they do.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
they
they-
were out there in the middle of a field with the trucks. I mean,
That was like I said, that was an interesting place because they got a lot more ice there than we
Yeah.
did, and it showed on the pictures. And
but
They,
I mean, that's huge for us because someday, we hope not, but someday we may need help too. So I mean,
oh yeah,
it's
absolutely.
great that we're out there helping. So
Yeah, every time you go help somebody, they'll always say, if you ever need help, you
Yeah.
call us and we'll be there. So, but I'm like you, we'll just keep knocking on wood that we don't make that phone
Yeah.
call. So,
Great.
thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, thank you, Scott. And just to kind of piggyback on that for the electric report, as many of you know, the new solar facility has been online since basically the end of December. So here recently we had what we're calling a thermal event where we had an equipment fire at the new solar array. I think most of you are aware. Just want to give the board an update and let everyone know that is back online. Repairs have been made. The factory sent a rep. Our contractor was there, got the equipment replaced. Everything's so far so good. We're back up and running. As far as we can tell, it just appears to be some kind of latent manufacturing defect. We didn't record any damage, any kind of vandalism, nothing like that. Possibly ice and snow getting in it. It's kind of hard to break down once it really burns up good. But anyway, so that was kind of what happened over the last couple weeks. Again, happy to report we're back up and running. So.
And that was fully warranted, so there wasn't any cost to the plant board for any
Correct.
repairs.
Yes, absolutely correct. Both the equipment, labor to change it, no cost to us. So, could have been worse. So again, we're kind of keeping an eye on things, but I think everything's in good shape.
I might just add, I was talking to Gary when it was, I guess, right when it happened anyway. And I asked Gary, Gary said we had, then I said, well, how bad is it? And you know how smart Gary is and specific. And I said, well, how bad is it, Gary? Gary said, I can see smoke. It was one of Gary's more just very I mean, I guess he took it down for me. I mean, so he said, I can see the smoke. So.
I do have a question.
Sure.
So whatever part it was, is there only one part like that out there, or are there other ones, and have we checked them?
There are 4 total. The inverter is what failed, and there's a total of 4. The system's kind of split basically into 2 halves, if you will. So 2 on one side, 2 on the other. We took everything down after it happened just so we could kind of do a complete tear down and make sure there wasn't any other damage. So that's why it was completely offline for a while. They inspected the adjacent pieces of equipment. you know, kind of tore everything down, cleaned it up. Again, the factory center rep here, I think they were in every inverter. They've also done some work to, so of course, like all new equipment, it's online, has events, alarms. They've kind of fine tuned that to make sure that they are getting alarms, which they verified they have. If there's any other issue like that, I think, you know, we're better positioned now to get out ahead of it before it's, you know, kind of complete failure. So, you know, feel like we're in pretty good shape now. Again, you know, it's kind of hard to predict those things if it was in fact a manufacturing defect, but you know, I think the response was good. So
the inverter actually is a part of the equipment. You know, historically, they usually had a reliability issue, but manufacturer has a lot of improvement for last decade. And I would say if something happened, I would rather happen early and not the later part of it.
Sure.
But it's very sensitive. That's the part from a DC to convert to AC. So there's a lot of semiconductor in that equipment, and potentially can generate a lot of heat too. So it's a challenge, part of it. But there's many manufacturer, but manufacturer has a much longer warranty, right? I forgot, 10 year or even longer.
yeah, I think most of them 10 years pretty standard.
Yeah.
I should also add too, it's the same manufacturer we've used up here without issues. So we do have, you know, a little history with them and have had,
Yes.
you know, no issues there. It's a different model. You know, obviously the new ones are bigger, but you know, there is some history there.
Go ahead with the CEPA.
All right, CEPA report begins on page 109 of the board package. This will be for December of 2025. Our CEPA bill was $86,534. Our net payment was $270,444 for a profit to the board of $183,910, which brings us through the end of calendar year 2025 a net benefit of $1,825,946. So really good year for CEPA. We've got another CEPA item on the agenda here later, but you know, happy to answer any questions about that.
Were we able to do anything on the AMIs, or we slowed down?
Okay, yep, sure. AMI electric, you know, we're 100% installs. Water, we did have some more installs this previous month. We're at 15,688 for water installs, which is 91%. So we're kind of still plugging away on those. Over the next few months, as we kind of get closer to the end, there will be a system acceptance testing period, which we're kind of in the early phases of now, which, you know, we know what all works, but there's kind of a formalized process to close out the project semi-officially, where we'll go kind of to a support type of arrangement.
Do we think that'll be done by the end of the fiscal year, or?
Yeah, I mean, Sharmissa can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're, you know, tracking pretty well to get there.
So that's our goal. It's just with the ice and the weather, you know, we
Right.
can't open those meter vaults right now, but we're pushing pretty hard. We've got extra resources in the meter department, so they're gonna try to finish it up this fiscal year.
Okay, good. Great.
Okay, and if I didn't miss anything, I think that concludes CEPA, AMI, and the electric update. Any questions? Good. Okay. And then the KYMEA meeting, the regular meeting be next Thursday, I think. Gary, is there anything we needed to add on that?
Which is right now is annually this period of time, KBME board discussing the management proposal, potentially what kind of rate for next year. They're discussing potentially increase the rate. So it's not finalized yet. So I just want to make sure you are in the loop and, you know, have that information. Then when their detail come in, I will definitely update you soon as I can.
Okay.
All right, if there's no questions on that, it looks like Bruce may be out tonight, so Danny will be doing the water distribution report.
Good evening, everybody. The water distribution monthly report is on pages 113 through 115. We installed 3 new services. We had 9 main breaks and 6 outages. Any questions?
Given the freezing weather we had in that, did we come out pretty well on the
We
the
came out
mains
pretty
and that?
well. We did have the freezing ground did
Right.
catch us,
Yeah.
breaking some lines and stuff, but we seem to kind of come out of that now. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And next up, Brandon with the water treatment plant report.
Good evening, everyone. For the month of January, the water treatment plant treated 285,100,000 gallons of water for an average of 9.2 million gallons a day. Lock 4 averaged 4,406 cubic feet per second for an average of 2.85 billion gallons a day. And we did complete our filter valve project, so we've got the punch list done and change order, so we're 100% done on that. So glad to have that. So.
That's a pretty big amount of water, isn't it? Is that with people running pipes and things, you think, or?
I would imagine so. I mean, it was, 900,000 more. But, I would say that's part of it. Now, next month, you'll see a huge jump because we're averaging about 12 million a day right now. So,
Really?
it'll be a big number next month.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right. Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no more questions, Mr. Chairman, that concludes the department reports.
Okay. Nothing else. We'll move on to the action items. Item 5.1, consider approval of the SEPA long-term MOA subagreement number 14. Travis, back to you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So these SEPA sub-agreements, we've seen several over the past 2 years. It's part of their long-term capital restoration and improvement plan that SEPA has for the hydroelectric facilities. Most of those are several decades old. So when these new funding requirements come up, these sub-agreements come around for approval. This one is sub-agreement number 14, which includes 8 work items with a total funding requirement of $25 million. Just if you take kind of a long-term look, we kind of expect SEPA rates to gradually increase a little bit year over year as they're making all these capital improvements, like everything else. But it has been, obviously we talked about SEPA earlier. It's been a good investment. So I think it's still a good deal for the planning board long term. So staff is recommending approval of long-term MOA sub-agreement number 14 with SEPA.
Any questions?
Just one, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
When SEPA raises their rates, does our margin in terms of the profitability remain pretty constant, or do they raise the rates and cut into some of our return at the same time?
They're kind of detached, so most of the return that we get is based on the market price. So if you get a really cold month and they can sell that energy at a really good price, that kind of washes out any increases. So it's the increases are kind of just steady, a little bit year over year. The sales of it can be, we can see pretty wild swings. Perfect example of that. So with the timing of the agenda meetings and the board packages, we kind of see a month ahead of what's in the board package. Our SEPA for last month, which will be in next month's package, the total revenue was $600,000.
Yeah.
So January being a really cold month,
Right.
we made a ton off of it. So, it's kind of market dependent, and then the price is usually pretty fixed with those steady
So
increases.
will we sign on for this, or does Kemia sign on for us with all the other members?
We have a consultant that consults for all the Muni group.
Okay.
And if the board approves it, usually we just tell him,
Let
hey,
them know,
you're
okay.
authorized to
Right.
sign on our behalf.
Because I saw we were lumped in with Benham and all those other,
I think those agreement actually is between us
and
SEPA.
then Kemia is not involved.
Yes, we dedicate a portion of us to KBMEA, and KBMEA turn around and use our resource to supply power for us, or month-to-month base, some the extra energy is sold to the market.
Okay.
So that's kind of, it's ours. It's
Right.
going to be not 15, so it's going to be continue hours even after 2029.
Even after we leave Kemia,
Yes.
okay. Good, okay. If there are no other questions, I'll accept a motion to accept the memorandum of agreement.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item up, consider electric contract approval for Governor's Landing. I'm gonna work you all night, Travis? or-
That will be me. I think I'm done after this, hopefully. I'm sure you had enough of me. Yeah, yes, sir. So this is, we're going on the second year now, or almost to 2 years now. The reinstatement of the reimbursement contracts for electric extensions. This one will be for Governor's Landing, which has 17 additional lots. Per the terms of the agreement, the contractor will have to pay us the entirety of the extension in advance. And then we'll be reimbursed on a per new service basis of $2,004.60 once they have the home built and we get a certificate of occupancy. So their refund amount will of course be capped at that advance amount paid, so there's not a
Right.
profit incentive
Right.
here.
Right.
But being as many lots as there are and the low cost, there'll be probably an opportunity if all the houses get built to be fully reimbursed.
Fully reimbursed for it, right.
Yep.
Okay.
I move we approve, Mr. Chairman.
And I do have one
Okay.
question. How many of these agreements have we signed since we reinstituted that policy?
Memory serves me, I think this is the second.
The second, that's what I thought, Okay. Go ahead, John.
I make a motion that we approve the agreement, sir.
Okay.
I'll second.
You got a motion and a second. Steve, any question?
No, I was-
Okay. All right. If there are no other questions then, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Consider award of bid invitations number 1839, 69 kilovolt breaker, 15 kilovolt breaker, 15 series main to utility sales in the amount of $346,442. Scott.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, staff prepared a bid invitation to, for 269 kV breakers, 215 kV breakers, and 215 kV series tie breakers. These breakers are all used in the substation equipment for a substation. All of these items are budgeted in the electric budget on page 17. And of course, you can see there's multiple lines. There's 4 different lines that these all 4 come out of. The bid invitation was advertised in the State Journal and sent to 6 vendors. We received 2 responses, and after evaluating all bids, staff recommends awarding to utility sales in the amount of $346,422, as they were the lowest bid, meeting specifications and acceptable lead times.
Any questions?
I'm going to defer to Steve because he likes to spend money.
We're spending it on the ratepayers.
There you go. There you go. Motion then, Steve?
So moved.
So moved. Okay. Need a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Scott. Oh, you're back up again.
Yeah.
Metal poles, bid number 1842. Metal poles in the amount of $114,594.
Yes, again, staff prepared.
Replenish the supply, huh?
Yes, staff prepared a bid for galvanized steel poles. These poles are used both on the distribution and transmission side of our operations. These are kept in inventory, and these inventory levels have to be replenished periodically, so we're at that point in time to replenish this batch. The bid invitation was sent to 5 vendors, with all 5 responding. After evaluating all bids, staff recommends awarding to Irby Supply an amount of $114,594, as they were the lowest bid, meeting specifications with acceptable lead times.
Any questions? Not, I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Next item on the agenda is item 5.5. Consider retaining Cherry Beckert to conduct the 25-26 FPB financial statement audit as required under KRS 96.185. Scott down here, I'm gonna discuss. I'm gonna lean heavily on Mr. Denton. The one thing we did do is, as everybody's aware, we've had Blue and Company, we've had them for the last 5 years, and we've kind of adopted a kind of an informal policy that we like to try to switch our auditors up every 5 years or so to keep things fresh and to get a new set of eyes on everything. Certainly Blue's done a great job. We're very, very appreciative of them. And you guys have worked well with them, but it's time to move on. David, could you talk a little bit about the process you all went through?
We sure can. It was mid-December of 25, December 16th. We issued a RFP to 10 different public accounting firms. We received 3 responses back, and we provided the information to you all. All 10 could have performed the audit and done just fine. We wouldn't have sent it to them if they couldn't. So, the plant board of directors serves as the audit committee. We don't have a separate audit committee, so it's really up to the board. We've presented to you the 3 choices, and you could also stay with our current auditor. So just Cherry Becker seemed to have the most economical proposal. This is starting in this fiscal year 26, and then would assume we would move forward year after year unless the board would like to make a change. So just looking for your direction. If you'd like to move forward with them, we will ask for an engagement letter and get started.
Any questions?
I might just add, this firm, I'd never heard of them because they're a renamed different firm, but they've done utility work and they've done city work, including some work for the city of Frankfurt. And then I looked through the team, and several of their team used to work for the state auditor's office. Okay. And they left and went to the private. They were good. Really good. So they've got a good team, and they seem to have done, and I think, David, I understand you contacted the city and some of them, and everybody was pleased with them?
I did. I contacted at least 2 references, one being the city of Frankfurt, and nothing but positive comments about them. So one of the team members we've worked with in the past when they were with another firm, and so I think we'll have a great working relationship and should be no problem.
Okay. Anyone else?
I make a motion, we retain Cherry Becker to do our audit for fiscal year 25-26 under the terms as it was bid out in the RFP.
I'll second.
Motion is second made. Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item 5.6, consider award of bid invitation number 1843 for the removal of residuals at the water treatment plant, Lagoons 2 and 3, for $74,749 to the Hager Company. Brandon.
Routinely, residuals are removed from lagoons when necessary. Lagoons are dried, residuals are removed and dumped on site at the water treatment plant. Hager Company will remove residuals, including vegetation, and restore lagoons to the desired elevation. Separate sealed bids were opened for this bid invitation on February the 6th. 6 bids were received. This project is included in fiscal year 26 budget on page 30, line 82, in amount of $115,000. Hager Company has not performed work for the Frankfurt Plant Board previously. Water Engineering has followed up with numerous references, including engineers and general contractor. Overall, the company's references, experience, and performance were satisfactory. FPB water treatment staff recommend awarding the removal of residuals at the water treatment plant, Lagoons 3 and 5, to Hager Company in the amount of $74,749.
I'm going to ask this question I generally ask when we get these bid invitations. What was the high bidder bidding on? Were we sure?
That company they have a totally different way of drying it. They use pressure vessels, and they suck the water, and it's a pretty extravagant operation that they do. So,
yeah, okay, because that was a big spread, $250,000 for what we were getting for 75. So, any other questions? Not, I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Motion made, second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Mr. General Manager, do you have any comments?
No, thank you.
Okay. Any old or new business? David did bring up the idea of it is, we're not quite there yet, but it's almost getting ready to be budget time.
Best time of the year.
Well, yeah, well, for some people, I don't know. We generally, what we've done in the past is that sometime in mid to late May, we have had a formal, all-day kind of budget meeting taking place the last couple of weeks of May, and then that gets us the finalized version of the budget we can approve at our June meeting. David, when are we aiming to have copies of draft budget given to the board members?
We just looked at a schedule just this week. Usually it's at the board meeting in May that we
Okay.
present it to you all and give you a couple of weeks. It's usually around the first week of June that we would have the public meetings.
Okay.
So if you all want to look around the first week of June, second week,
Okay.
we just want to make sure we give enough time that you get it in your hands
Yeah.
to be able to review and ask any questions.
Okay. And also in advance of that, what we've done in the past is we've had one or two board members go with each of the lines. I know I've done water for several years and talked with Charmista. I probably will end up being the chair this year. I'll probably do admin and have John do that with me as the vice chair. And so if any members are specific, you know, whatever you did last year, if you want to talk back to those folks, if you want to move to another line or something, just let me know and I'll kind of get folks to kind of go through have the brand, while you are putting together the budget, have you all talk to board members and kind of explain your all's goals and needs and things like that. So I think that's a process that's worked well in the past, and I think it's a good strategy to go in the future. So just, you know, kind of let me know if there's a particular area that you'd like to be involved with the budget, just let me know. Okay. All right, I have nothing else for old or new business. Any other member have any old or new business? Hans, we need a closed session?
Unless the board has questions about any of our issues, I have nothing new to, nothing really urgent to add, so we could dispense with that if the board
I think
is.
we can go ahead and dispense with it then, if that's the case.
I do have a
Okay.
question,
Yes.
because there was one web comment, and it was about
The clubhouse?
clubhouse.
Yeah.
So when are we gonna talk about that?
Well, I mean, we can talk about it under old or new business. If you'd like to go back to that, I'm fine doing that. The web comment we had was that they wanted to do a fundraiser, and the issue they had is that our policy prohibits folks taking cash at the door. And they were asking us to kind of undo that. I'll be honest with you, I've kind of thought about this a little bit, and having talked about it and read the comment, I'm comfortable with having that policy here, and I've got a. I think it could be. I think allowing folks to do things, and you know, they're a fundraising organization, a 501c3. But if we start allowing them to do a pay at the door event, you know, what kind of precedent do we set, I guess, is the question that I had through all that. And, you know, that was what, if they had wanted to do, to me, if they had wanted to do some sort of a ticketed event where people, you sold things ahead of time, I would have been a lot better at that. But they wanted to allow folks to take money at the door, and that was kind of the line we drew on that. So,
I thought it being ticketed was the part that violated our rules.
Kathy, can you help me with that, or do you?
Well, Kathy
Kathy Jennings handles that?
Yeah.
Okay.
They wanted to sell tickets at the door.
They wanted to sell tickets
Yeah.
at the door as well, and technically, we don't allow ticketed events per se, but my understanding of that was it's, the money at the door thing was the thing that really kind of stood out for us as being an issue.
Okay.
I think our solution was to allow them to sell tickets ahead of time, and they had to have, a ticket to come, but they wouldn't be taking money at the door.
Okay,
Well,
so we did give them that option.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was just a flat rule about In other words, you couldn't use it as a way to make money by selling tickets, but apparently you can, but it has to be ahead of time.
See, I thought it was about not, making money off of use of the building.
I understood it the way Kathy explained it, that our policy wanted to not get involved in handling a lot of cash at the door.
What?
But I thought, the same way you did, that if they wanted to sell in advance online, and people showed up with a ticket, not with cash, that we could accommodate them. And they are a good group, and they're a 501, but I'm like John, it was the policy, and, we could probably carve in a little, but I think once we open the door, we're gonna have a more defined cash policy.
Yeah, so if that's something you want us to look at, we'll get with Pam.
Yeah, let's, I tell you what, let's, for the next meeting, let's kind of examine our policy again that we adopted and see what change we might need to
Let me
make,
see.
Steve.
I think the policy or the action of selling tickets in advance, and that it's really a moot point and irrelevant for us because we won't know
Right.
that they'll be coming to the door free of charge. There'll be a list of people,
Right.
Who have paid for a ticket or a ticket.
Or made a
So, I mean,
donation or whatever.
I don't
yeah.
know whether we have to say any of that stuff.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of, it'll be invitation at the door because people have already pre-qualified.
Right.
In other words, I don't like
think
saying that kind of language to
Yeah.
people because it kind of, on a superficial level, it's counterproductive to what we're saying about not selling tickets at the door. If they're gonna sell them, they'll figure that out.
Right.
I hit before and come to the door where money won't exchange hands.
Right. So, if y'all could put together kind of look at the policy and see what it allows, what it doesn't allow, the way we've adopted it, and, we can consider any changes we might want to make in it.
I mean, some of that would be too, like, if they're not charging people to be there, but are they allowing people to give donations?
Donations, right, things like
But
that.
I'm gonna tell you, and I've said this to some of the members, you start doing that, there's gonna be groups that are gonna come and ask.
Yeah,
And they're gonna be youthful groups that
yeah,
are gonna be doing things for charity and and we're gonna say, we're gonna recoil back almost and say,
Right.
no.
right.
And so, I know some, on one side it looks beautiful, on another side, there's, I can't even think of the word. So that's why I kind of like to leave a line
Unintended
straight like
right.
it is, because there will be youthful groups that will wanna use the playing board, that clubhouse, for a charitable thing,
Right.
and we're gonna say, we're almost gonna recoil back privately and say no.
Yeah, well, and part of that is, there might be people who wanna use the plant board, not for a charity, but just to raise money for whatever.
Well, that's what
Like
I'm
they-
talking about, youthful groups will do that, and I can
Like-
think of plenty
Yeah.
that
I mean,
will do
because
that.
alcohol's allowed there, you can charge like a cover charge and have a big party there and make a lot of money. And then what are we, responsible for?
Right.
Again, that's why I don't wanna step down there, I just like to be very simplistic, clear, and how you get around, if you get around it.
Yeah.
Like selling tickets 2 months before it,
Right.
and walk to the door free. So do what, but for us to start talking about tickets and stuff in our policy as it relates to how you get around that,
Yeah.
is opening up a door that I don't think we wanna open up.
Well, if need be, I mean, I'm fine with the way it is right now and saying that, we don't allow ticketed events of any kind. I just, I don't know if we need to change that or not. I think we were trying to work with this particular group because they raised the issues. But, I think depending on what we want to do, we can talk about it more next time, but kind of let everybody take another look at it and see in light of this request whether or not we want to make any changes or not. If we don't, we don't.
Private parties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anything else? All right. Then if that's the case, the next item on the agenda is adjournment.
So moved.
Speak it out.
Second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank y'all very much.